there, and welcome to English Teacher Plays. We're here with The First Men, which is a new game. It's on Steam, and full disclosure, I did receive my copy of the game for free, and we're gonna play it.
Hold up.
Alright, we'll jump in and we'll do the tutorial. Taretha, an escapee from a pirate ship, finds herself washed ashore on a mysterious island. She has to find Hagen, establish a settlement, and decide whether to stay in the island and to cleanse it from all threats or to leave by building a boat. This fast-paced tutorial will teach you about every aspect of the game before you delve into other maps. Okay? Tutoria! It's the tutoria. Love it. Let's start the game. Is that a person? That's hilarious. So that's Taretha, I guess. This young lady's name is Taretha. She's not aware yet, but recently she washed ashore to this island. She and her companion Hagen escaped from a pirate ship, and the ocean was kind enough to deliver her here after a vicious storm last night. Alright? If Hagen experienced the same fate as her, maybe they can make this place their home. I mean, she looks like she's dead. Let's go on an adventure. First, select Taretha. Alright. Okay, you can scroll the screen using WAS. Also possible to... now we can middle mouse button. Okay, got it. Alright, next. Now you must learn how to give orders. Okay, so she's got no legs. She's a half person. Try ordering Taretha to head towards the northern path and get out of this cove. To do this, right-click on your destination while Taretha is selected. Okay. Why does she have no legs? I don't get it. Where are we going? We found... Yeah. Excellent. Let's continue following the path across the river. Notice how the black area around shrinks as she moves through it. Right. Yeah. Fog of War. We all know about Fog of War, but at least the game is trying to explain it. So we're just wandering around. Oh, we found a rusty butcher's dagger. Okay. So she's got that now. Notice how it's placed in the inventory. Alright. Characters can hold up to 6 items and right-clicking on the item while it's stock, send, drop, bind. While they're inside their home region. Home regions are grassland meadows with the construction called the Gathering Tree. Taretha doesn't have one yet. Send to owner's party members. Drop it on the ground. Bind equips the item with a twist. It can't be unequipped and can only be replaced by another item. Only matching categories shown within the white icons can be bound to a character. Weapon, head, chest, jewelry, trinket. Oh, okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Let's bind it. Notice how the dagger fit into the weapon slot, and a new skill is connected to it. Sort of? Self, soul, heart, mind, body. Okay, see, these are the skills that are equipped to it. Right. Now let's right-click on the thorns to cut them and continue down our path for adventure for Hagen. Alright. Oh, she looks so derpy. I mean... Oh, she was doing it and I stopped her. Right. Okay. We did it. Nice. Let's go ahead and get ready for any ambushes. Why? Oh, right. I can't go that way because that's not the way the path goes. Even though I can't see where the path goes. What the... Let's go ahead and be ready for ambushes. Okay, just won't go that way. I guess we're walking on the forest now? Sure. Right. We're looking out for ambushes. There's a knoll! Why does no one have any legs? Because of the red circle beneath there. Alright. On the upper right corner are speed options. Yeah. Great. For the purpose, the game is paused mode now, but normally this wouldn't happen. As soon as you're ready to face enemy. Okay. I mean, what is going on? Butcher. No. Yeah, I don't... Rune bars endurance. Okay. Sure, yellow bar is her action timer. Holding the Alt key shows all the combat bars. White bar. Why is everything so dim? It's all very dim. So it's unconscious. Right. I mean, we might as well bind these. So this is the northern side path. I guess we're gonna go up here and kill this meat bug, or just hang out with him, I guess. The meat bugs are friendly. Ooh, there's a broken, rusty pickaxe. Excellent. It's a bit rusty, but should do the trick. Before we go back to the boulder, though, let's learn about camping. Bit beaten from the previous combat. Okay, there's an encamp button below. Alright. Here is the character's name. Yeah, beneath out this character's age and the entity it belongs to. On the bottom is the character's current activity and all the assignments it has to do in the future in order. Alright. When characters pass certain thresholds by performing activity or casting skills, they level up their associated stat. Right, so doing combat increases your combat ability and that kind of stuff. Also add up to the calculation to get the final stat value, but we'll get to traits in a bit. There seems to be a lot of stuff going on, but that's alright. Energy bars. When a stat's energy depletes to 0 by any means, traits, skills, or activities, that character receives a fatal trait associated with the stat, reducing it by 1. As red skull icons on the bar, and when a character's primary stat reduces to 0, it simply dies. So these are secondary stats. Primary stats, sure. Feel free to hover over them and get a sense of what they are and how they modify crucial aspects of a character. Crafts panels. When a character they get to spend that 100 and you get to choose a reward. This is a primary way to progress. Okay. Performing activities to gain new passions, perks, feats, etc. Right next to it is the crafts panel, which simply gives the character chosen assignments to craft new items. Alright, and finally we have traits. They can modify stats, look at the character, unlock new path or craft choices, make the character perform new and unexpected activities, and the list goes on. Okay, so human, female, adult, and what is this? Earthborn, perceptive, ruthless, and enthusiast. Okay. We can continue to get that boulder out of our way and continue on the journey. Left clicking the button on the party panel. Where's that? Left clicking the button on the party panel on the bottom left. Okay. I guess we just go back to that boulder. Not a fan of how slow everything scrolls, but that's okay. We're gonna go do that. Alright, so she should start using her pickaxe? No. Let's draft Taretha back by left-clicking the button to the party panel. And so while she's selected to start utilizing the... I mean, she's still got her knife. Am I supposed to equip this, or what's the dealio? Okay, so it did just use it. Okay, cool. Let's keep searching, I suppose. There's trees. So you can engage them by pressing Control click. So you can attack deer and stuff like that. Makes sense. Oh, and now we've got a cutscene, I guess. We're about to enjoy the cutscene. Right. Oh no, please get up. I mean, sure. Where am I? Taretha, you're alive! I thought I lost you to the tides. Feels like I'm gonna... vomit. Gross. Okay. We should get you to a resting place. I've been looking all over for you. This place is really dangerous, Hagen. We're desperately unequipped. All I've got is this rusty dagger. And no way to speed this up. Man, I can read so much faster than this game thinks I can. That's fine. Where's he off to? Why don't we cautiously look around? This meadow seems peaceful, right? Sure. Indeed, definitely more serene than the jungle I've been through. Oh, and keep an eye out for hyena-like humanoid creatures. I had to fight one on the way here, and anyway, let's move. Alright. So, look, there's a magical tree there. I don't like it how it's, like, dim when the clouds cross over. It just seems unnecessary. Looks like it was here for a long time. Magnificent. Looking around, I think this is where we should settle. I feel tranquil here. Alright. Can't argue with that. What should we call it? Don't know. Tree of Light. Very unique. How about Gathering Tree? I love it. Well, enough chit-chat. Let's get to work. We need to gather food and collect materials. Sure. It's funny how they go blah, 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 blah. Then, oh, I didn't read the rest of that. Absolutely may be easy for us, Taretha. Thank you for saving my life. You're welcome, I guess. I like this mushroom. It's a cool looking mushroom. Okay. Looks like our friends are handling themselves pretty well, but not for long if we're not involved. Let's make sure they utilize their resources and abilities to survive, progress, populate, and explore. Characters not directly controlled when they're disbanded in their home region. Instead, they choose from a pool of activity based on the assets of the settlement and, most importantly, themselves. So it's Rimworld. Passions are the main way to pick a path for a character's lifelong professional journey, as they get to focus on a specific field, unlock new craftables on that field, and improve themselves with new perks. Select Taretha. Okay. The character spent 100 path points as soon as the panel was opened and wants you to pick a trait that'll improve it, and therefore the settlement's efficiency. Right. Sure, she can pick up rocks. You can't spend more points unless you pick a reward from the currently presented path choices. Notice how the path point bar turned yellow, meaning the character currently has an active panel that needs to be resolved. Right. She doesn't have any passions or specialties. So unless you pick a passion with their hard-earned points. Cool. New tab related to itself for the consequent path choices. Okay. Notice the colored borders of the passions. I guess I shouldn't have picked it because now we're well past it. If something is green, for instance, you should know that it has something to do with either the body stat, prosperity point, or simply any other green-related assets. Excellent. The character now has a passion to pursue and improve upon. No more life without responsibilities. Required construction must be crafted. Okay. Industry mound, right? Okay, so that didn't work. Okay. Left click on an empty space. I don't... Okay, so this isn't working. Open the character's craft panel. That's this. Right. And click on the name of the construction that says mound. Right, so that didn't work. That's not working. That is non-functional. Fantastic. Right. Well, I can give her another passion, I guess. So I've lost more stuff to do. Okay. So it just doesn't work. It's not working. I can't build. Oh, there we go. It let me build something. Finally. I don't know. Oops. Okay, so I don't... Why is she not building it? Doing downtime activity, crafting, constructing, okay. So what is this guy doing? He's doing nothing. This guy sucks. So I don't know why this isn't working. I'm gonna fast forward until it works, I guess. Okay, so we've made it through the knoll cavern or whatever, and we knocked out a bunch of knolls and picked up some resources and stuff. I don't know, man. The combat is really, really, really not very interesting. I've been playing for 40 minutes, and it is the sort of game where, you know, you'd get invested in the characters and all that kind of stuff. It's got that sort of Rimworld appeal. But, yeah, the characters move really slowly, and the combat is really, really boring. And it seems like the sort of thing that you do have to stay and watch, because if you don't stay and watch it, then your character gets killed, and it's just all bad. So, we'll take this guy back to his mom, because we killed all those gnolls. which you will have seen in the fast-forwarded section. Well, killed them or knocked them out. I don't know. I upgraded my entire arsenal going through there, so... This was just a Knoll camp. Yeah. So he's got his sword. See, I'm walking slowly enough that, like, he has to stop every 4 seconds to, you know... And by every 4 seconds, I mean every half second to make sure that he's not out racing me. Okay, are we done? Mommy, mommy, mommy. Hello. I mean, what do we? Isn't this his mommy right here? Or is it not? I mean, how do we make this trigger? How do we make this person do stuff? I mean, I don't... We've brought them back. I don't... Okay. So, I can't... She's just standing there. I don't know how to complete the quest. It's not completing automatically. I can't interact with her in any way. I don't know. No, none of that is doing anything. What if I took care of her tree problem for her? Oh my god. Okay, so this is kind of a nightmare. Well, I can't make the quest complete. It's like literally the only thing that I've tried. Is doing this quest. I rescued this child from the gnolls and I killed all the gnolls. And I guess we're done now? But, he's screaming mommy and she's not triggering. So let's go look at the description and see what the game has to say for itself. Alright, The First Men. A strategy simulation based on stories of the first men. Infinite possibilities await your very own Adam and Eve as they embark on a generation-spanning adventure. How will you shape their future? It currently has mixed reviews. I can see why. Developed by Gathering Tree, so that's the name of the tree that you have and the name of the developer. So the feedback is very important. They're looking to make The First Men a sophisticated game with a high replay value. We'll extend our features in response to your suggestions. Okay? We expect the game to remain in early access for at least 2 years. Fair enough. When the final version is released, it will be a complete package of everything tailored to the interest and taste of our player base. Therefore, a key component of early access is learning what players want to see more of. However, as players, we've created a roadmap of features we want to include in the game, continually prioritize it based on feedback from our community. We can see the roadmap down below on our Steam store page. In addition to features displayed in the roadmap, we want to add multiplayer and extensive modding support until the full version. We want to bring joy to multiplayer after providing you with a satisfying single-player experience in each of our campaigns, skirmish maps, and procedurally generated worlds. Modding support will let you change it and stuff. Cool. The game's current state is giving you a solid single-player experience with settlement management, character progression, exploration, and combat aspects of the game fully working. It will be priced differently after early access. So it currently costs $35.99. I mean, look, there's probably a lot of stuff going on under the hood, you know, because you've got to have AI for each individual person, like in Rimworld and stuff. But yeah, at least the tutorial stuff, the combat was just so dreary, man. I spent a long time bashing my way through the gnolls, and it was just not very interesting, because it's like, wind up, whack. Wait for them to whack you, wind up, whack. And I don't know, I guess getting the loot and stuff was kind of interesting, but it was just not that good. And then the build mechanic, where it told me to build the industry mound, I did do that, and then it said, cool, that's all you need. So I built the industry mound, but it actually took me a while to do it because the game was not responsive to me clicking on the industry mound and then clicking on the thing. So I don't know what the deal was there, but it wasn't working properly, which was very frustrating because I got stuck on part of the tutorial for a long time. So here's the roadmap. Gotta love it when they have a roadmap. I wish my computer would stop bingo bonging. Right. The First Men is a strategy simulation enriched with the character-driven base building, party-based exploration, and tactical real-time with pause combat. Inspired by the creation stories, Knights and Merchants, and Rimworld. Okay. So they're calling their shot there. Character-driven base building, a modern character-focused approach to old-school base building fun. Develop your region and tend to your settlements needs with the help of various paths, constructions, relations, traditions, and bragging rights. Whip your characters into shape with infinitely varied possibilities that will echo for generations. Body, mind, heart, and soul, and self-attributes with hundreds of traits and skills offer rich and enormously diverse character progression. Choosing the right character to take the right path is the most important part, as they can be the doom or the boon to your future. Party-based exploration, yeah, so there is combat. You can go fight things. The combat, I mean, I guess I should have taken more than just my one character, but I didn't. I just took the one character and it was fine, because I guess I'm in the tutorial, so none of the combat is very hard. But, yeah, I don't know. It wasn't very interesting, the combat. So I don't think I'd get into this for the combat. I think I'd get into this for the base building. But then, if you're just in it for the base building, what is the difference between this and Rimworld? I guess you get to control their passions and stuff, which is interesting. And there might be some more interesting stuff going on under the hood. I don't know. I didn't get to play that far because I played about 40 minutes and then couldn't complete the one quest that I had, which was to rescue that boy. I rescued the boy, brought him back. He said "mommy," and then he wouldn't stop following me around. She didn't interact with me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. So it's in early access, which is good, and it's good that it's going to be in early access for a while, because right now I would say it's probably not worth the price of admission. You know, I didn't really have a good time. I can see that there's lots of love here, and there's lots of stuff going on, and there's lots of things happening. But I didn't really enjoy myself. And there were lots of buggy aspects to it. So if the game was enjoyable and it was buggy, then I would play through it. You know, I've played Bethesda games before, you know, and they're fun. But when the game is also not enjoyable because of the bugs, or, you know, even if the bugs weren't there, then the actual gameplay is pretty slow and methodical and kind of dreary, then it makes it harder to push through and to recommend it when it's not really running, you know, it's not living up to the hype. So real-time with pause combat system that rewards strong tactical thinking. I mean, it doesn't really. I don't know, man. Maybe it does. Like I said, I only played the tutorial, so maybe I'm missing out on important stuff here. But there was no tactical thinking. I just walked up to the thing and right-clicked on it, and then they had a combat. Clicking on the skills didn't seem to do anything. I don't know what I was supposed to be doing. Maybe that was in the tutorial. Maybe I should have read that better, but I don't know. It didn't seem to matter because I won every single combat and it wasn't close. There was never really a time where I needed the health potion. They offered it to me and I'm like, okay, don't need it. Creation stories about the first men help reshape the ancient untold stories of how mankind started its ambitious journey of life, suffer the struggles they've been through together, and help them overcome the challenges of loneliness when they were afresh in their universe. So let's have a look at some of these reviews. Beta tested for 300 hours. Response to the naysayers. TFM is a meaty game that doesn't hold your hand. It does need an advanced tutorial, and my understanding is that work on the UI to ease understanding are high on the priority list. That said, I firmly believe that those that either watch some videos or persevere with some trial and error through that initial learning curve will be greatly rewarded. Right, so I mean, I didn't find it hard. It wasn't like it wasn't like a learning cliff like when I played League of Legends or anything. It was more like there didn't seem to be anything happening, and I recruited those other guys and did some stuff, and then I just took that first one and went off and killed some gnolls. So yeah, I don't know. I'd recommend checking the playtime of the reviewers before you make up your mind. This game has a learning curve to understanding the UI, and the tutorial is admittedly sort of bare bones at the moment. So I'm going to address this first comment here. As with anything here on Steam, I'd recommend checking the playtime of the reviewers before you make up your mind. I think that really only comes into play if someone gives it a massively positive review, says they absolutely love it, and they've played for 0.1 hours. If someone gives it a negative review and they've played it for 0.1 hours, it means that the opening of the game is bad. You can take that review for what you want. you know, it means that they played some and did not enjoy it, and so they uninstalled it and refunded it. That's still helpful. So, I mean, I guess taking the review time into account is important, but just because someone hasn't played 40 hours of a game doesn't mean they don't have the right to review it. Yeah, if you play 20 minutes of a game and it's trash or you don't enjoy it, that gives you the right to review it, you know? Like, you can do that. If you play 5 minutes of a game and it doesn't load or it doesn't boot and all that kind of stuff, you can review it. You can give it that negative review. If you're giving it a positive review, basically, like, so I sometimes do reviews where I've only played the game for a half hour or 40 minutes or whatever, and I'll give them a positive review because the 30 minutes or 40 minutes that I played, I really enjoyed, and if people want to see what I'm basing my review on, I do a video of it so they can look at the video. So, I don't know, there's just some thoughts on the binary nature of Steam reviews. So, I spent a long time following this game and waiting for release. That said, you really have to give this game time. So all the positive reviews are saying that you have to just keep going. A couple of days at least, because you will really find yourself struggling to understand what the hell you need to do. But after some trial and error and restarts, because nothing you do is reversible, things will start to make sense. A lot of people are complaining about the price. I can't say I entirely agree. It's £20 for something that's been in development for 3 years. The artwork is pretty damn unique. And as I said before, beautiful. If you don't think 3 years of a team's time is worth £20, then you're delusional. Man, I'm getting lots of content here responding to comments. It doesn't matter how long you took to make the product. That doesn't affect the price of the game from the consumer's point of view. If the quality of the game is worth £20, or in this case $35.99 New Zealand, then that's how much it's worth. It doesn't matter if it's been in development for 3 years or 10 years or 1 year or 6 months, or it's a solo dev or a huge team of people. It really doesn't matter. The value is the game, the end product, the process that goes into it. Sure, you should support small indie development studios. You should buy local. You should do all that stuff. But, like, honestly, just for your general consumer, that's not going to come into play. Your average person isn't looking at a game and going, oh, look, they've developed it for 3 years. Therefore, I should give them my money even if the game's bad. That's not how it works. I'm not saying this game's bad. I'm saying it needs a lot of early access time because it's not good at the moment. And I just 100% disagree with this. And it's the common thread, common thing people drop in on me. They say, oh, it's developed by one guy, so it's fine. And they're charging $40 for what is basically unplayable asset garbage. And they're like, oh, it's just one developer, so you should support them and be nice. And I'm like, no, dude, you're charging full price. You're charging $40. It's not about who developed it, how long it took them to develop it, or how much of their heart and soul they put into it. It's about what the end product is and the quality of that product. So... man, we're going a little bit long here, but that's okay. Wanted to like this game. I thought it would be amazing based on its description. I like the idea of building a society, each person getting their own personality. Oof, this is a long review. 16 hours into it, and I still can't get excited. I never get the just a few more minutes feeling. Is the amount of micromanagement needed for even just a small colony. I think I got up to about 12 characters, and it got so boring. I had to start naming my tribe vote male wood for woodcutter or female nurse entertainer. Yeah, I mean, like, I can totally see that happening. I got one character, and it was like, even just with that one character, when I was upgrading her, it was like, I just don't, it doesn't matter. All I'm doing is bashing gnolls, so it wasn't relevant. I'm old. Give me a worthwhile tutorial that actually covers game mechanics, and I probably wouldn't have refunded. I will wait and see how it turns out down the line. Sure, desperately needs a real tutorial. I mean, there is a tutorial in there, and the game did, explain lots of the stuff, but it also didn't really... I don't know, there didn't seem to be a purpose, so not there yet. It's an interesting game with interesting mechanics. Sadly, it's let down by being extremely buggy and broken. Yeah, the bugs are bad. Game is really immersive. I felt like I was really there and tried to establish the first human tribe. Okay. The game is a little rough in its current state, but has great potential. Love the concept. The art style is amazing, and digging the mechanics. Long time base building, management, resource, survival genre. Favorite of all time is Dungeons 3, but the UI gets in the way of my enjoyment. I've been playing the Lindaris level for a while now, and oof, there's a lot there. That's all right. So it's just a negative review while it's progressing. So, I mean, it's a mixed bag, isn't it? And that's probably, I would agree with that. That's my experience, is that my experience with this game is that it's a mixed bag. It's very buggy. The combat feels slow and sluggish. The actual building and stuff doesn't seem to work amazingly well. Obviously, other people have got it working. I couldn't tell what I was supposed to be doing. Yeah, I mean, it's cool that people are going to go off and live. And that comment down below about having to name people male woodcutter and stuff, that's sort of telling, you know, is when you start getting really complex with these sorts of games, when you start getting really deep into the complexity, what you find is that it's you know, it's a mess. It's formication. It's a bunch of ants doing millions of complex activities, none of which you care about or can even differentiate because they all just look like ants. So you have to name them for what they do, you know? It's just not that interesting, and that's my problem with 4X games in general. This isn't a 4X game, but it's just the level of granulation is so deep that you know, I don't care what this one little planet is doing, you know, on their solstice festival with the grain shipment that arrived last week or whatever, you know, and this is the sort of game that gets deep into those details. I can see that being a problem. I guess the adventuring is supposed to sort of mitigate that a little bit. Yeah, and that might work out, but the combat needs to be more interesting in order for that to be the case. My experience with the combat is that it was very boring. So I'm going to leave it there. That's The First Men. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below, and otherwise I'll see you guys next time. Class dismissed.